Imagine walking into a grocery store. The shelves look full. Fresh strawberries, lettuce, tomatoes, blueberries. Now imagine that just a few years from now, those same shelves are half empty. Not because America ran out of land, not because of drought, but because there simply aren't enough people left to harvest the food. Every year, billions of dollars worth of crops are left rotting in American fields, not because farmers don't want to sell them, but because nobody shows up to pick them. And here's the twist. Even with AI, robots, and autonomous tractors, America's biggest farming problem isn't technology, it's people. And if this trend continues, it could change the price of every meal you eat. Agriculture has always depended on people, especially specialty crops. Think strawberries, lettuce, apples, grapes, peaches. These aren't harvested by giant machines. They're picked by human hands. According to the USDA, nearly 80% of U.S. fruits and more than 50% of vegetables require hand labor during harvest. Now here's where things become alarming. The average age of an American farmer is now nearly 59 years old, the highest in U.S. history. Meanwhile, fewer young Americans are choosing agricultural jobs. Why? Because farm work is physically demanding, seasonal, often located far from cities, and wages struggle to compete with opportunities in construction, logistics, warehousing, and service industries. But that's only part of the story. Many U.S. farms also rely on seasonal migrant workers through the H-2A visa program. The program has grown rapidly, from around 48,000 certified positions in 2005 to well over 380,000 in recent years, showing how dependent many farms have become on temporary agricultural labor. Yet farmers frequently report that paperwork, timing, housing requirements, and labor availability still don't fully meet demand. And every missing worker has consequences, because fruit doesn't wait. Vegetables don't pause. Nature runs on its own schedule. Miss the harvest window, and the crop is gone. But labor shortages are only the beginning. Climate change is making harvest seasons less predictable. Heat waves are becoming more dangerous. Wildfires delay harvests. Floods destroy fields. And extreme weather makes agricultural jobs even harder. At the same time, America's farms are getting larger. Larger farms require more workers during shorter harvest windows. Finding hundreds of trained workers for just a few weeks has become one of the biggest challenges in modern agriculture. Reuters has reported that labor shortages have forced some growers to reduce acreage, switch crops, or even leave produce unharvested. Imagine planting thousands of acres, investing millions of dollars, only to watch perfectly healthy food rot because nobody can pick it. And the economic cost is staggering. Labor is often the single largest operating expense for fruit and vegetable growers, accounting for roughly 1/3 to 1/2 of production costs, depending on the crop. Which means every labor shortage pushes food prices even higher. But here's the part most people never hear. America isn't the only country facing this problem. Japan, Australia, Italy, Germany, even the Netherlands. Nearly every developed nation is struggling to find agricultural workers. This isn't a local crisis. It's becoming a global food security challenge. So why don't we simply replace workers with robots? The answer is far more complicated than most headlines suggest. For years, Silicon Valley promised that robots would solve farming, and progress is real. Companies like John Deere have introduced autonomous tractors capable of operating with minimal human supervision. Startups like Carbon Robotics use AI-powered laser weeders that identify and eliminate weeds without herbicides. Others are developing robotic strawberry pickers, apple harvesters, lettuce harvesters, even AI systems that predict exactly when crops should be picked. Sounds like the perfect solution. Except, harvesting fruit is one of the hardest robotics problems ever attempted. Every strawberry grows differently. Every apple hangs at a different angle. Every tomato ripens at its own pace. A human hand can instantly adapt. A robot has to recognize, measure, decide, move, grip, twist, and avoid damaging the fruit. All in just a few seconds. That's why many farms still rely heavily on human workers, even after investing in automation, instead of replacing workers completely. The future may be about making every worker dramatically more productive. Here's the real question. If fewer people grow our food, who controls the future of farming? The next revolution in agriculture may not be about bigger tractors, or taller greenhouses, or even smarter AI. It may be about solving the biggest challenge of all: finding enough people and enough technology to keep feeding nearly 350 million Americans. Because the future of farming isn't just about crops. It's about food security, national security, and the survival of one of humanity's oldest industries. So here's the question. If robots still can't fully replace farm workers, what happens when there aren't enough workers left?